In Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, elders once warned that walking alone at night could be dangerous. Not just because of the dark roads, but because you might meet someone who was not entirely human. According to Vincentian oral tradition, Lord Diablesse appeared as a striking woman, often dressed in fine clothing that stood out against the quiet countryside. She was polite, soft-spoken, calm. Travelers described meeting her on roads far from villages, usually late at night or near dawn. She would greet them warmly, sometimes asking for company as she walked. They spoke of a woman, beautiful and well-dressed, who appeared suddenly on lonely paths after sunset. Those who followed her were often never the same again. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but those who looked closely noticed small details that felt wrong. Some said her face never fully came into the light. Others claimed her feet were hidden beneath her dress, or that she walked strangely, as if one leg was not quite human. In some tellings in Saint Vincent, Lord Diablesse was said to have one foot shaped like an animal's hoof, concealed beneath long skirts. If a man followed her, the road seemed to stretch endlessly. The air grew colder, the night grew quieter. Then, suddenly, she would vanish or reveal her true form, leaving the traveler lost, injured, or deeply shaken. Surviving witnesses were often said to fall ill, lose their sense of direction, or swear never to walk alone at night again. In Saint Vincent, Lord Diablesse was more than a frightening story. She was a warning. Elders told the tale to caution against traveling alone at night, trusting strangers too easily, wandering unfamiliar paths, or being led by temptation rather than judgment. The story was often shared quietly, not for entertainment, but as guidance. In communities without streetlights or paved roads, night travel was genuinely dangerous. One wrong step could mean falling into dense bush, steep ravines, or unfamiliar terrain. Lord Diablesse became the symbol of that danger. She represented the unknown risks that appeared harmless at first, especially to those who believed they were in control. Looking at the story through a historical lens, several real-world factors may explain why the legend took hold. Saint Vincent has long stretches of uneven roads, thick vegetation, and limited visibility at night. Fatigue, alcohol, and fear could easily distort perception. A shadow becomes a figure. A stranger becomes something more. The story also served a social function. Instead of saying, "Don't walk alone at night," the story said, "Be careful who you follow." The message stayed memorable and effective. Lord Diablesse survived because she adapted. While the legend appears across the Caribbean, each island, including Saint Vincent, shaped the story.